I told my wife, 35 female, that she couldn't do it without me, 34 male. Turns out she can. Today's story was posted by you/getalifey. Hey guys, Reddit guy here, and I am getting straight into today's stories. My wife and I don't fight much, and when we do, we usually communicate well afterwards and things go back to normal. I often brag to my friends about how reasonable my wife is. Her ability to communicate and empathize is something I deeply admire. She doesn't hold grudges. She talks me through my rough times. Until now. Due to a fire, my wife is out of work but still earning her salary, thanks to insurance. We decided she would stay home with our young son while out of work. She doesn't love child rearing, which is something we knew going into having kids. Honestly, it's hard to tell. She's a great mom, present and loving, even when I can see she's struggling inside. I give my wife a lot of breaks. We co-parent and split bedtime routines for our 2 kids. We both pull our weight. Yesterday was a snow day. My daughter was home with my wife and son. I was working from home downstairs all day. I helped my daughter with cyber school until noon. My wife was with my son in the snow all morning, plowing the drive and sidewalks, maintaining the house. My daughter joined them, and from the sounds and videos, she brought her friends over for playing and hot chocolate. I worked until around 5, and when I went upstairs, it was chaos. My wife was doing laundry and helping my daughter who had fallen on the ice. She sent the friends home and we had dinner. I did the cleanup. Right after finishing, and keep in mind I'd been downstairs working all day without a bathroom break after noon, I went into the playroom. My wife approached me and said, "Hey, can I go lay down for a bit?" I made a face and said, "I haven't gone to the bathroom all day, and I put cookies in the oven." I could tell I'd messed up just by her face. She replied, "Fine, never mind. Forget I asked. Heaven forbid." Now, I sensed some attitude and knew I'd misstepped. I said, "No, it's fine. I'll take care of it all. Go take a break." To my complete shock, in front of our kids, who weren't paying much attention, but were still present, my wife said, "I said never fucking mind. I've been running around on my feet all day watching our kids and other people's kids. Heaven fucking forbid I ask for 20 minutes to myself." I again said, "Go, take a break. I told you it was fine." But she was clearly seeing red. She started cleaning up and helping with the kids, and I tried to overcompensate, but she just took over caring for them. In the hall, I said, "I think you forget I work all day." She viciously said, "Thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot." I felt like an ass. I get that she works hard caring for the kids, but I work hard too. Not having her job and escape is making her reaction worse. She texted me the next day with her usual communication style. She expressed how upset she felt with my behavior and said she had been feeding and taking care of 6 kids all day in the snow alone, still cleaned the entire house, and deep cleaned our craft room. I explained that I was stressed at work and didn't understand why she was so upset since I offered her a break. She said, "I don't want your pity breaks." She ended it with, "Thanks for the apology, by the way," which wasn't exactly an apology. Then she asked for the number of my daughter's piano teacher, the only activity I managed for the kids. I found out she texted the teacher to go through her from now on, as she would manage the schedule. Normally, she would text me to ask if I could get my daughter from dance. I didn't hear anything, and when I got home, I found she dropped and picked her up. I confronted my wife saying, "I am very present with my children. Do not make me out to be an absent father." She responded, "If I didn't manage and ask you for help, you'd see them a quarter of the time you do now, and I'm done managing you." I get it. I should have just smiled and agreed when she asked for help, but this is extreme. She's having a fit and trying to ice me out of my relationship with my kids. It's petty. It's like I don't even know this woman. Gone is the reasonable, level-headed communicator. Relevant comments. One commenter noted, "Her reaction is so out of left field. She really is usually the most reasonable person I know. It's been stressful for her, and I admit I'm stressed too. I figured a few months off paid would be a luxury, but now I see having 6 kids alone all day might be as luxurious as a barrel of hair. Guess it's my turn to be empathetic." Another user said, "You are 100% right. You should normally respond immediately when she asks for a break. She asks 3 times a week, and you almost always say yes. It was an off moment, and now she's trying to ice you out. Step up and do more without her instructing you." Update, January 26, 2024. I made one selfish comment to my wife a week ago, and now my life is in disarray. She's home with our kids, including a 3-year-old. We knew before having kids that she wanted to be a working mother, so this adjustment has been tough. She spent a long day with our kids and neighboring kids. When I came upstairs from work and she asked for a break, I didn't respond well. I made excuses and didn't offer help. For the first time in years, my wife lost her temper and cursed at me. After Reddit humbled me and she made me sit down and write a list of everything I did for the family that day and compared it to hers, much longer, I apologized. She accepted and I thought things would return to normal. They haven't. She used to include me in parenting. I did dance pickups, bedtime routines, baths, made dinner, all the regular stuff. Since our fight, she hasn't asked me for help. The first morning I woke up from my usual routine with the kids, she didn't send them down to me. Normally, she does a playful send the child game, but now she handles bedtime herself. The kids haven't noticed. It's like she's replacing me. When we were fighting, I said something dumb. I'd like to see how long you can manage without me. I admit my foot is officially in my mouth. She started running, cooking healthy meals, and doing it all without me. I feel empty inside. OOP added later comments and reflections. He reflected, they agreed to therapy, both individually and weekly, to process stress and workload. He realized he had been a secondary manager, needing his wife to organize everything. He's now taking on the parenting responsibilities fully, coordinating schedules, picking up kids, and volunteering at school. He's actively trying to give his wife space, let her relax, and even encourage her hobbies, like gaming, to recover her sense of self. Tragic update, October 17th, 2025. His wife, Katie, died suddenly in a car crash. He writes, "My last words to the love of my life were an answer to any preference for dinner. I said I couldn't care any less. And that was it. I'm drowning in grief. I have 2 young kids. I can't drown. Everyone says I need to be strong for them, and I'm trying. They're back to school, but I'm alone with my grief." He shared his struggle. His 9-year-old daughter refuses to acknowledge her mother's death. His 5-year-old son cries himself to sleep, asking for mommy. Both children are in therapy, but he fears he is failing them. He writes further in November, "I'm still here, Katie. I know you'd want me to stay for the kids, but how I yearn to be beside you again. I'll never love again."
I don't know who said I was teary-eyed, but I'm not someone who's just cutting onions. I am only happy they got to figure out their issue before she died. Okay, here's the next story. This one was posted by user BraveKangaroo591 in the r/relationship advice. My boyfriend of 2 years, 31 male, says he can't marry me, 31 female, because of something he found in my phone. My boyfriend and I went out of town this weekend to celebrate our anniversary. We spent the day doing activities around the city and then went out to dinner. He's not much of a drinker, but since we were celebrating, he decided to have a few drinks. When we got back to the hotel, he was definitely drunk, but I still wanted to enjoy the night, so we started watching TV. Out of nowhere, he suddenly said, "I went through your phone and saw that you cheated on your ex-fiancé. I could never marry someone like that." He also kept saying, "I've known for a long time, I just never brought it up. If you want to be with me, you need to be honest." I was engaged back in 2014, and apparently he had gone way back through my phone and found old text messages and photos from that time. I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to messages and photos. I just never think to delete them. I have text messages going back to 2012. The thing is, everything he saw was from after my ex and I had already broken up. I tried to explain that, but he wouldn't listen. He started yelling and calling me awful names like war and bitch. He kept saying I was a terrible person and that he could never marry someone like me. It got so bad that when he went to the bathroom, I went downstairs and asked hotel security to help me get my things so I could leave safely. Security came up with me, and even then, he kept trying to convince me not to leave. Security had to tell him several times that he couldn't stop me. I ended up going to a relative's house nearby for the night. Since then, he's been texting me nonstop, telling me I'm not marriage material, that I'm a bad person for leaving him there, and that he could never trust me. I'm honestly really hurt and confused. I've never cheated on him or on my ex. Does he have a right to be upset? Is this something worth trying to work through? Comments. Now worries mate. Honey, he's the one that's not marriage material. Dump forthwith. 2 kids, 3 cats. And thank God he outed himself as a complete jackass before you actually did make things government official. No appointment 723. You said that, I left. Why are you trying to argue with me giving you what you want? Then stop responding. Snoo Lemons 1501. Not even that. It's over. Don't ever contact me again. Then block on everything. Quiet Walk 2505. Rethink everything. Put it in consideration. Don't marry someone like him. This dude is manipulative and controlling. Sorry that happened to you. OP replied, thank you for being kind. I know I need to leave. I just needed to hear it out loud. I wanted to call a friend or family member, but I really don't like getting them involved. I just needed to feel validated in my decision. Newlini 7. Are you still out of town? Are you safe? Do you have a way to get back home without him? Are you guys currently living together? Sorry for all the questions, but he doesn't sound like a safe person to be around. OP replied, that's another big concern for me. I'm back home, but we still live together. Judgment. NTA. Update, 1 day later. First off, I want to thank everyone who reached out with support, kind words, and even alternative perspectives, even the tough or negative ones. Your feedback truly helped me see things for what they were. Here's what happened. Back in 2014, I was engaged. He found pictures of me with another man taken in early 2015, someone obviously not my fiancé. Since he didn't know when my ex and I had broken up, he jumped to the conclusion that I cheated. I'm not saying that excuses his reaction, but I wanted to clarify the situation. It honestly just seems like self-sabotage. He can never let himself be happy in our relationship. It has always been like this, and I should have seen this as a red flag from the beginning. When I got home on Sunday morning, I took some time to process everything. I followed advice from friends and called my mom and best friend, both incredibly supportive. I decided to go back to my hometown for a few days to give him space and time to move out. On Saturday night, during one of his angry texts, he mentioned he'd be out of the house by Thursday. On Sunday night, I locked myself in my bedroom while he slept on the couch. I even kept my phone under my pillow just in case, but thankfully, everything was uneventful. He leaves early for work, so that morning, I packed my things and left. I wanted to prove the truth, so I went through my Google Photos and old messages and found the final conversation between me and my ex-fiancé, confirming we broke up at the end of 2014. I never cheated. I sent him a long message. I told him I was done and expected him out by Thursday. I also told him there was no undoing the things he said or how he treated me. I included the screenshot of the final text message with my ex confirming the breakup timeline. He read the message and tried to backtrack, saying, "We both hurt each other and need time to process things." There's really nothing left to say. He was completely wrong and now trying to walk it back. I'm not standing for that. He apologized for calling me out of my name, but that's nowhere near enough. I feel strong in my decision to leave, knowing I did everything I could. I'm thankful to everyone who offered encouragement and advice. It helped me find my strength again. Comments on update. Jojo Monster 4. Just make sure you don't end up taking him back out of pity or anything. He's shown his true colors, and he is clearly going to try to manipulate you to come back. Stay clear, block him, and move on. OP replied, even if his timeline was true, that doesn't give him a right to disrespect me and call me out of my name. That's something I can never get past. Jojo Monster 4. Absolutely. It's toxic. There's a way to have a disagreement or argument but still be respectful. Keep it in mind for future partners. Shiny Artist. We both hurt each other implies you standing up for yourself is you hurting him. What a joke. Don't fall for crocodile tears or love bombing. Bad patterns will repeat. OP replied, yep, not excusing his behavior, but even sober, he tries to make me the victim instead of apologizing. Working Mountain 6680. We both hurt each other. Excuse me? You hurt yourself by going through her phones looking for anything to pin on her. She's better off without that dead weight. OP replied, exactly. How manipulative can you be?
He waited until he was drunk to confront me about something from over a decade ago.
This guy should just start a podcast on how to be a manipulator. He clearly has experience. I hope she moves on as we're about to. My brother-in-law is the reason why my husband left me. I don't know what to do now. This story is from user expensiveopinion952, posted on r/trueoffmychest. I met my brother-in-law at university. We were both 38 at the time. He was 38, I was 38. He asked me out in our first year and I refused. He called me the C word and said I was shallow. My best friend told me it was just harmless comments from a drunken guy who got rejected, so I didn't think much of it. Honestly, it was his demeanor and awkwardness that put me off, not anything I did. Other than that, he never bothered me again during uni. I didn't even recognize him when I next met him years later. This was when my baby sister introduced him as her boyfriend. He was visibly annoyed that I didn't recognize him and called me a liar. The family was skeptical at first, but he seemed to treat my sister well. She seemed happy and he is very rich, taking her all over the world. They got married after a year and now have 3 children. I met my now ex-husband 5 years ago. The only odd comment from my brother-in-law was that I was still as shallow and superficial as in uni. I thought it was a joke at the time, but in hindsight, it was a warning sign. He was otherwise decent and never showed dislike toward my husband. His indifference didn't seem odd because he was always a recluse. Then, a year ago, my husband came home accusing me of cheating on me. He had evidence. My brother-in-law had contacted another man who claimed to have nudes of me on his phone. This man said he didn't know I was married at first, but when he found out, he contacted my husband. He even apologized to my husband. I have never met this guy in my life. Nothing I said could convince my husband otherwise, and he left me. Our divorce is pending. Then, yesterday, the man contacted me. He apologized for what he did and told me he is friends with my brother-in-law. He sent me conversations, endless conversations, where my brother-in-law had talked about me for years, never forgetting that I didn't give him a chance and calling me the C word. They had planned this attack, and my brother-in-law somehow accessed my photos. He did this even after my marriage ended, and the man felt guilty about the role he played in hurting innocent people. Now I know why my brother-in-law has been happier and more sociable since my divorce. His jokes about me ending up an old maid with cats weren't jokes. They were intentions. I don't want to ruin my sister's life. She's very happy with her husband. I don't know if I should tell my ex or not. I'm heartbroken that he didn't believe me. I love him, but I'm not sure I can forgive him for not believing me. Update April 14th, 2024. I am overwhelmed by the support I've received. Some of you are still asking about me, and I'm grateful. My brother-in-law is now exposed to everyone for what he did to me. He isn't in love with me, he hates me. Hate has been his driving force since I rejected him. I have feared for my sister's safety and her children, which is why I have been careful. I didn't want collateral damage. My sister and I finally talked. I love her and her children very much. She seemed hurt and questioning her marriage. I used a baby steps approach to explain my concerns. Unfortunately, her husband gave her an ultimatum: divorce or cut off family. She chose her marriage. My parents are torn, but I understand. Brother-in-law deleted his social media and his friends want nothing to do with him. He's shamed and barely leaves the house. My ex-husband and I are moving forward with the divorce. Even though my brother-in-law, quote-unquote, won, he didn't truly win. He's still bitter and hateful. I've told him and my sister that nothing will ever satisfy his ego. Now I live in a new city with my boyfriend. His family has welcomed me. I'm happy, supported, and surrounded by friends. My brother-in-law has never tried to contact me again. Things are calm and I'm rebuilding my life. OOP comments. I am child-free, which influenced some family decisions. I would welcome my parents back, but never my sister. My ex-husband is complicated. He moved back hoping to reconnect, but it didn't happen. Well, I'm guessing money does go a long way in influencing people's opinions. That's it from me today, guys, and I will see you tomorrow, same time.